welcome to my Twitch stream where I am going to be putting together or actually processing my resin print from a Patreon I follow. It's a Prey collection. It's a little dirty. So I actually 3D printed all of this stuff, and I'm actually going to just start processing it because I just cut all the supports off. I've got it cured. You know, it's in pretty good condition to go. You can see I'm cleaning this off. And what I'm doing is just getting this ready to put together. I'm actually not going to be gluing this together. This is actually my base. And there's a lot of things to do to this guy. So this is Leonardo. Here, I can kind of roughly put him together. He doesn't fit perfectly right now because of all those supports. But he's pretty big. Like you can see, he's pretty big. So I'm actually going to clean this model up and then probably start putting some of them together, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But this isn't going to take very long. But I'm just going to walk through. Here we go. Oh, look at that. It'll stick together. You can see, like, that's actually the model right there. It's a super amazing model. The guy that does this is Prey Collection, and I'm a part of his Patreon, and he does a lot of cool Ninja Turtle models every single month. This month, he actually, just today, he put out Baxter and Krang, and I'm not going to lie, Baxter's one of my favorites, so I'm really excited to print him out. But first I'm trying to tackle the turtles. So let's get started. Let's trying to get everything set here. Okay. So yeah, I 3D printed these. It's actually, I printed these at 120% in comparison to the 100%, so I wanted them big because I am obsessed with Ninja Turtles. I love them, so I wanted them to look really big because I want to set these out and display them because this is honestly just for me. So I wanted to just go through, I think a few days ago I did Donnie. I was processing him, and Donnie's honestly my test turtle that I'm going to be doing because I'm going to be printing all of them out at this size. Donnie was actually at 100%. He's a little smaller. But yeah, so there's very little cleanup that I'm going to have to do on the body, so I'm going to actually start on him first. And you can kind of see that there are holes in him, and the models themselves do not come with holes. He actually does supply supported versions of each print for resin printing, but they're for the 32mm tall models. Personally, I am terrible at printing or painting minis. I wish I was better, but I'm sure if I would actually practice, I would be better. But it's one of those things that this is a hobby, so I want to do what I really like doing, and that's honestly printing and painting bigger things. So I've got some rough edges, and I actually just use regular sandpaper. So this is 220 sandpaper, so it's a pretty fine sandpaper. And I'm just going to cut off or tear off a little piece of it. Ta-da! Okay. So some of this stuff, like where the supports were, it is a little bumpy. And even though it's underneath the model and you're not going to see it, I still try to make it look good because when you sand it, you can definitely start to see those bumps come out. So which means when I start painting it, You're definitely going to see them. And that's the beauty of resin. It sands so easy because it's a softer plastic. So I said that they don't come hollowed, and I actually hollow the models myself and support them myself. Here we go. There we go. Nice and smooth. Yeah, so I'm just going through right now and getting some of these edges that I know where the supports were. If you go on my Instagram, you can see I posted some pictures of this guy being printed, and you can see what he looked like supported. Just trying to get rid of some high spots and some jagged edges. I know some people use smooth, like little tiny sanding blocks and stuff, but the stuff I do, that's great for minis, but for this kind of stuff, it really doesn't matter, I feel. And I don't really, I do have some like micron sanding paper, but honestly for this stuff, the amount of scratches that it gives, it's not a lot, and the paint almost always covers it up. So but if you have any questions, feel free to ask or leave a comment below, and I will definitely get back to you and answer you. I'm always willing to help. Alright, there wasn't a lot to worry about with this guy, like I said. That's a little rough, but I want that to be rough because it's fabric. It'll look good when I paint it. But yeah, there's Leonardo's torso, and now I'm gonna come to this, which is his leg. So he's got still, I kind of clipped high on the supports. I typically do that when it comes to some of these things because I don't want to get these weird divots, because I did get divots right here, but it's the socket, so I don't really care that there's going to be some divots. That is a drawback for sure when you're doing resin printing and supports. A way to avoid that is using an X-Acto knife. But I'm really just getting rid of any high spots right now. That's my concern, not the divots. And then I'll lay this flat. Since this is a flat surface, I'll just lay it because you can see how they're showing up. Okay, so as always, I just wipe all the dust off and stuff. Before I prime this, I always wipe it with like a damp cloth to get any of that dust off. So this is his right foot or leg, and I'm just going to see if it fits in there. And the nice thing, this is what I like about resin. So I can see it's budging a little bit, but when I do that, it's going to show me exactly where it's not fitting well. So it's pretty tight right here because you can see there's some edging on it. It'll actually turn it white when you're rubbing on it really hard. So I'll actually go in and sand that down just a little bit. And sometimes, like for this option, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and cut back some. It makes a mess, but I don't really care. I have a little tiny handheld vacuum that I come in and I'll just vacuum up my table. So then, oh, hold on. Sorry, got my Alexa's reminding my kids something. Alright, so I'm basically just trimming this away so it's gonna fit perfect, because I want a nice snug fit. And I can see right here it's probably gonna have another high spot. That's the beauty about these things. They don't need to look perfect at the sockets. Okay. So now that literally just popped in like so perfectly. KangaMan47, thanks a lot for the follow. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. I'm right now just processing this resin print. Or if anybody else has any questions, feel free. But okay, that looks awesome. So I'm going to take that out. He is done, at least with the socket. So now I've got some spots that I need to clean up. Not much, honestly. So the big thing is when I'm printing these and I'm supporting them in the right way, like he actually was, if this was the build plate, I printed him like this. And that way all of the detail, actually I had him a little bit of an angle like that. So the detail of the leg, I wasn't going to need to support it because there's a lot of like freckles and bumps and like turtle scales on this, and when you're painting it, man, these like it just comes out and you want to see that stuff. So I've got to cut off some of these support blobs. So what I'm gonna do is get a new blade, because X-Acto knives, the blades go out real quick. Okay. Tighten that up good. Okay. So I'm just gonna look around here, and right here I've got a piece where support was, because some of these frays around his ankle. Because this bandana, you can kind of see it kind of kicks out, so I had to support that. And I don't mind that it's rough, because that'll come out real good when I'm painting it. The other thing is, I know I keep forgetting to bring it up, but I said that these models don't come hollowed, and I actually hollow these myself. Autodesk has a great program called Mesh Mixer, if you've ever heard of it. If not, I recommend it. If you need to hollow 3D prints, it's really easy to hollow them, but it's another step in the process for sure. But it's worth the extra steps because, hold on, never thought I'd be a manicurist and giving Leo a petty. Okay, there was one support right there on his toenail. But like I was saying, you just bring it in and to mesh mixer you import it, and then literally just hit hollow and you move around your holes, and then generate, and then it's hollowed, and then all I do is save that out as an STL. Oh, my cat. Sorry, I'm blocking backwards. So I bring it in as an STL, and then or export it out as an STL, and after that I bring that into ChitUbox, and that's what I use for all of my supporting. And then from there, then I actually export out an STL from that again, and then I'll put it into the Photon Studio, the Anycubic that you're supposed to use with it, because I've had some failures slicing directly out of ChitUbox, so I just do that. It's a lot of steps, but I tell you what, it's actually really nice. So same thing with the other leg. There's still some supports here, and I'm just ripping some of them off, not really sanding them, because this is the socket. This is actually going to be completely covered up, so I don't care. There's no reason to waste your time doing that and making it super clean when you never see it. The biggest thing is to be concerned with is the fit. So here we go. Make sure. And it looks like you can see some rubbing right here, so that means it's this back corner, and it's just like the other one. I'm gonna shave some off of it so it fits good. And let's see what that looks like. And that's perfect. So now we've got both legs. Well, I did say both legs. There we go. So both legs look like they are fitting pretty well. And I can actually see on the stand here how well I got it. Apparently not very good because it's not fitting. So I think this leg needs to turn in more. Yep, there it is. So now that matches perfect. So you can see this is a big print for resin. I think this is the biggest print I've ever done. But man, these things need to be big to see them. I think they deserve it. But it's cool how it wraps around. So the only thing I don't really like about this, so I've got that, I still got to clean up, but I got the socket done, is all of his other turtles, the pouches are separate, and I'm afraid to actually put all of this and glue it all together, because like right here, like me trying to get in there, that terrifies me. So I might just not, at least lay down the green and paint the pouches. I might even just do some, sticky tacky or something to kind of, or just use some Elmer's glue. That way I can pop it back off easy. Then prime it with the green skin first. And then what I'll do is, once I got the belt done, glue it all together and then finish up the paint. But alright, so I got a bunch of supports. You can kind of see on the tips of the toes here. There was a lot to put there. So I'm going to just kind of shave off a little by little, and hopefully I don't get any pitting. Because this is an area I don't want to have any pitting for sure. But if I do, it's not the end of the world, because I've got this stuff, the Vallejo plastic putty, and I'll just fill it in. Okay, so the key to this that I've always found is don't get too greedy. So like if you've got little nubs, then just sand them. And when you sand them, you'll see if you have pitting or not. There we go. Okay. Just a once over the leg. Fits good. So these two legs are good to go. Alright. So he's got his sheath, or sheaths, back here. And that fits just perfect. I don't even have to fix that. But I do have some support nubs here that I've got to clean up a little bit. It's kind of sucks that I had to put them there because I didn't want to deal with all of this, so I actually printed it like this on the build plate. But with these holes and stuff, I just left it that way. But there's so much detail in this. Like he's got like filigree in this. It's really cool. It's just a solid model. It's such a cool look too. But yeah, we're good with that. Yeah, that even stays. Okay. Moving on. Might as well start with the hardest one first, because that's just what I do. So this, I did not have my supports close enough, so it's got a lot of bumps and ridges on it. So I'm going to go ahead and just start cleaning that up by just kind of folding over some. And I want to support this because I don't want to break it. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Just got to get more on the tip. Almost perfect. I was actually kind of worried about this one. And that looks excellent. So down here on the edge, I'm going to get that a little bit. Here we go. All right. So I've got some stuff I gotta get with the knife. It's just in the little crazy spots. There we go. All right. So now comes the part where I know I'm gonna have to get this flat spot and then this curved spot right here. I think I can just tack with the knife without even having to sand it. But the rest I can get right here, flat. And sorry, I've got to get the edge here of the table. That sword, I don't want to hit it. Okay. Let's try that. Fits pretty freaking good. So it looks like I'm still getting a bit of rubbing right here. So back to the edge of my table here. Okay. Oh yeah, that fits perfect now. Excellent. Man, he looks sweet. Alright, so I think I got all his arm. One more check over here. Yeah. Okay. So this one's going to be a little more challenging on the socket. I did get a big pit right here that I'm definitely going to have to fill in with filler putty. It snapped off before I even actually cut it, which happens, but you know, is what it is. So now same thing, I'm just gonna have to support the knife, but this time how I actually had it, I had it like this on the build plate, so all of the supports came up. It looked really sweet. Actually, I think I posted a picture on Instagram. It was like this big fence. Wipe that down. Perfect. All right. So, got some more things to just take care of with a knife. And like I said, a sharp knife is important. That's why it's good to have a big stack of these. Like, because if your knife is sharp, you'll cut through this resin stuff easy, easy, easy. And you can avoid the pits most of the time. Just be careful with a knife. Alright. So with this, I'm probably going to start slicing these off, because I shouldn't be able to have to sand it unless there's a major issue here, but I think this one fit pretty well without even touching this yet. Okay. All right. So let's put them on the right side. That fits perfect. I'm definitely going to have to put some putty in there, because there's some give. There's some wobble in that. I don't know if you can see the wobble, but alright, let's see what it looks like put together, because all of these stayed together pretty well. And let me get a... I'm just going to set this guy. I think I need... There's more resin coming out of the bottom of this. I'm going to have to cure it again. That's the problem with big prints. Like, I'm going to have to probably put them at different angles to make sure, or I'll just set them outside for a day. Okay. There we go. Legs looking good. This arm stayed by itself. This one won't. Man, look at that. It's awesome. So, there it is. Pretty much all done. That's all I wanted to accomplish here. Pretty short stream, but he looks amazing. Man, I cannot wait. I love getting super stoked about painting stuff, which you can see. Oh wait, I forgot. He's also got this back here that'll stay by itself. Ta-da. The back of him. But yeah, so this model is from Prey Collection. It's his Patreon, and I think it's like $5 a month to be able to get these turtles and all the ones that he keeps producing every single month. But if you go to my Instagram, any turtle you see, I'm always tagging him in it, so you can get to his profile, or just go to Patreon and search Prey Collection. He's a really cool dude. He makes some really great models, and I think my favorite is that he listens to his Patreons. So if you suggest something to him, he'll do it. Like one of my geek out moments was, I've been with him for a few months, and last month I asked him if he could make Baxter from Ninja Turtles, because he's one of my favorite bad guys, and he added it to the vote list and it won. So he just put that out for this month's Patreon, and I honestly am so looking forward to painting that thing and printing it. But it's cool when, you know, the Patreons actually listen to the people that are supporting them, as it should be. But alright, well, I'm pretty much done. There he is. Feels like I've got a big doll. But, cool. And when I'm ready to glue them together, I'm going to be using just regular old super glue. That's what I use, is just the Gorilla super glue with brush and nozzle. But not today. I'm going to leave him as is right now and prime him first. Alright, well thanks everybody, and if you have any questions about what I've done, feel free to leave a comment in the video and I will answer you. Thanks. Bye.